Hi, it's Snorgle. Welcome back to PowerWash Simulator. Been a hot minute since I played this game. Was in the mood for something deeply satisfying. Should we clean the dirt bike? Let's clean the dirt bike. It looks like a pretty easy one. There we go. Yeah, we just wanted to play something very satisfying. Let's go. I didn't see which one. I don't think I got the tire. I think the tire's still kind of dirty. I think the tire's still a little dirty. Okay, got the... Not a pedal, what's that? Like a... I don't know. There. I think we got all the inside of this done. Can't be too careful. That's actually not true at all. You can totally be too careful. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, I'm not really a motorcycle kind of guy. I appreciate it. I've just never been into it, per se. Oh, this is deep. This is very easy. Is that paint supposed to be all spurped up? I guess it is. Anything else over here? Probably not. Look at this. Okay. Clean off the handlebars, of course. Try to get everything. I appreciate the fact that it's a little choosy when it wants to be, but it's also kind of generous when it wants to be as well. I appreciate that very much. Okay. What am I missing? Q? No. Tab? E? Clothing? Oh, I didn't know I could buy stuff. I could buy cleaning liquid with a cleaner attached. Oh, that's dope. Okay, what do we got? Oh, we don't have only one of the two bricks. Okay. Got it. I'm assuming they mean... I'm assuming the actual disc brakes, not... Yeah, not the... Oh, there we go. Okay. What else we got? Do we have two clean? Okay. The engine is still not completely clean, but it's 86% clean. Let's get in here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Definitely had some stuff that we had missed before. How we doing? Engine and exhaust. Oh, the exhaust still isn't clean. Let's see, where's the exhaust? Here it is. Okay, we got the exhaust. What else are we missing? Just a tiny little bit lift the engine and... Wait, fairings? I don't know what a fairing is. I might have to look that up. Is that a fairing? Apparently was. Frame, front suspension. Okay. I'm guessing this is the front suspension? Since it looks like... Yeah, I think that's the front suspension. Yes. Front fender. Oh, that's a mess. I wonder if do people really clean out the insides of their fenders? Let's see, we need the engine, rear fender, sprocket. Sprocket? Is that the sprocket? Maybe? Apparently. Spoke set, 1 of 2. Okay. So I think we cleaned that one, but I don't think, we must have not gotten this one as clean as we could. There we go. What else? Front fender still needs cleaning? Really? Oh, I think we got the engine. Fairings, front fender, and rear fender. Okay. It's hard to get around to see it. Oh, tricky. Yep. Oh, we didn't get the inside of this one at all. What's a fairing? Oh, that's a fairing. Okay. So this thing, I guess, is a fairing. Huh. I'm not sure what I would have called it, but I'm not sure I would have called it a fairing, but what do I know? Have we gotten the inside of it, maybe? Maybe. Okay, that's fairing, yeah. Fairing. Let's see. It should show us where the dirt is by pressing tab. I'm not seeing it. How much of the fairings do we have to do? Oh, it's got a tiny little bit left. It's got to be on the inside, right? It's got to be. There. Whew, did it. Look at that. Nice. Not sure why it looks like you need to wear a hazmat suit, but that's okay. Lovely. Let's keep going. Playground. Let's go. This is a bigger one, of course. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yes. What should we start with? Start with something a little bit easy. Let's start just doing some of the groundwork here. Let me try something, actually. Can I buy something? How do I buy something? Equipped. Okay. I don't know. So. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad. I'm curious if this... I have to get this whole ground done first. I bet we do. Oh, front edge. Front edge is separate from... Got it. Oh, that's tricky. The front edge can be tricky. Not gonna lie. Yeah, see, there's these little places underneath there that we're gonna have to get. But it's coming up fairly easily. Yeah, we just have to make sure we're thorough about it. Okay. Oh, it's such a satisfying game. I have never used a power washer in real life. At the closest I've come, I think, is like those self car wash things. People who have used power washers tell me that they have a surprising kick to them, which makes sense to a degree. Whoops, stop jumping. There. Okay. The tab to show the dirt is just brilliant. So smart. I wonder I wonder what the developers of this think about so many clones of this happening now, you know? There's just a ton of sort of PowerWash Simulator clones. Look how flat that land is. Haven't seen a kitty in this one either. Actually, I don't think we saw the kitty in the garage either, did we? I don't think so. I don't think we did. I don't think we did, which is okay. That's fine. I mentioned this before. I was talking to a friend of mine who's starting a podcast. And his initial response was, because he's a tools and gadget guy. It's like, I want to buy the best microphone possible. It's like, well, that's, you know, there's some really good microphones for a few $100, and the best ones are thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, you could spend a lot of money on a Neumann, you know, but you might not end up doing this, and you just have this $1,000 thing that you know, that lies around. Similar to, like, he got this really, really super expensive knife sharpening set, and they just never use it. Like, they just never ever use it. Which is, you know, it's their prerogative, right? Like, I'm not here to gatekeep. I've talked about this before. I'm not a huge fan of gatekeepers. I think that's some of the red from the thing showing through. Yeah. I think we do a narrow, a bit more powerful thing, and we'll get a little bit better results, I think. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. But anyway, I was telling him, you know, I mentioned this a couple of times, that it's important to have fun when you're doing stuff, and there's such a mentality now that you need to grind, you know, and it needs to be a hustle, and you know, you need to approach it like it's your side hustle, and I don't think that's true. I mean, I don't. Maybe I'm old school, but that's not how the OG YouTubers approached it. You know, I mean, yes, they tried to write the algorithm, and they wanted to get popular, and they worked hard. I mean, you look at, like, you know, Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. I still watch them to this day, even though Jacksepticeye is probably semi-retired, frankly. They did stuff because they thought it was fun, and they wanted to do something. They wanted to you know, they absolutely wanted to do something that was popular. And of course, when they got popularity, then they started, like, they would. This is something I don't do, and I don't do on purpose. And I've thought about this. Is I know that, like, Jacksepticeye had talked about how when he was first going, that he would drop doing certain Let's Plays because they weren't as popular, and they weren't as engaging with the fans. And I feel I'm not going to say my channel's the opposite of that, because I don't think that's true, but I play some stuff that's deeply unpopular just because it's unpopular, not because it's bad, not because it's whatever. But some of the stuff, like, there was a game I played that was made by 3 or 4 Thai high school kids called Our Mountain, and I'm sure I'm not the only playthrough of this on YouTube, but there's not many. If they're in there, and it's hard because it's such a common phrase. It's hard to find them, you know. Same with like my most watched. Some of my most watched videos are a game called Mechaneck Museum by a tiny little French studio. And by the way, there's a Mechaneck Museum 2 came out too, which I'm very excited about. I hope they continue the same story, because it was actually pretty interesting. That they had found it's in the future, obviously, and not obviously, but it's in the future, and they had found evidence of life on one of Saturn's moons, which I think is really cool. I think that's really neat. Do I have to? Yeah. See, the thing that's worrying me is that I didn't get the inside of some of these. That's what's concerning me, and I have to go back and do this again. But that's what this is, right? I need to get some soap or something too. I think that's. There we go. Yeah. But getting back to it, I think that having fun, I think, is important when you're doing this. I think I work pretty hard. I enjoy it immensely, but I'm coming up on 4.5 years of this channel. I had a channel before this for a year, and I produced a video every single day. Like more, and the first 3 months I did 7 videos, one a day, and then I realized that the system I had set up, I had a little more bandwidth. So when I started adding videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays, those have become almost exclusively Minecraft at this point. But so I'm not saying that working hard isn't part of it, because I think it is, but I think that the other side of it is just have fun, just do something to have fun. Everything doesn't have to be this sort of Mr. Beastification. Every spectacle has to be a bigger spectacle than the last, right? I mean, and I think you see it in like Minecraft videos, for example. Like I never really, I mentioned before, like I've just started playing Minecraft this year. I've been playing it 6 or 7 months, and I'm enjoying it immensely, and I'm seeing a bunch of creators that I never knew existed before, which is really cool. And it's all like new to me, but there's this whole thing in the Minecraft community of like every single video has to be a bigger spectacle than the last. And I don't think it's just the Minecraft community. I think it's a lot of stuff, and I don't quite understand it, and I don't like it. I don't think that that's the way creative endeavors work or should work, and I do think that producing videos is, at least for me, is a creative endeavor. It scratches that itch for me, and I don't like that idea that everything has to be moving towards the $100 million, You get a win an island if you keep your hand on the ferret the longest or something, like I'm not sure that that's necessary or healthy, even, frankly. I don't mean for the individuals or the creators at all. Everybody does what they're going to do. I'm just talking about the direction the sort of channel is going, that YouTube is going, in general. There's people who are doing that and are phenomenally successful, and I get it. If that's your job, I understand it. And if you're a big creator and you have you're employing people, I get that too, right? I totally get it. I just don't like that direction personally. I'm not faulting anyone for doing it, of course, but at all, but I get everybody has to do their thing. I get it. I understand. I just don't think that's the way creative endeavor should be at all, I remember somebody asking in an interview, David Lynch, rest in peace, what he thought about product sponsor placement, products paying to have a prominent spot in movies. And he said, I think it's bullcrap. He actually swore, but, and I agree with him. I 100% agree with him. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And there's been, there's definitely been some, I think I can't think of anything specifically, but I know there's been some instances of that happening on some YouTube creators as well. Like having blatantly sponsored stuff and not revealing. Oh, wow. Hey, we did it. Sweet. Nice. Okay. I should, between things, I need to get a soap dispenser, because I'm assuming that's going to make it go much faster. This isn't bad though. This is multi-purpose. That's not bad. So, yeah, I get why YouTube is doing this. I think I'm sure they make a ton of money, much more money off Mr. Beast type content And I don't mean that specific content. I mean, he's wildly successful. There's no question about it. But I feel like the Mr. Beast channel, because it's not just one person. They started it, but it's a huge company now. And I feel like that it's kind of turning YouTube into reality TV. And I also realize I'm an outlier with this. I don't watch reality TV. I don't like reality TV. I don't watch any TV. I haven't owned a TV in years. And I have no desire to. I don't subscribe to any streaming services. And again, I realize that makes me an outlier, but I consume the vast majority of my content on YouTube and to a lesser degree Twitch. Just that's the vast majority of the content that I consume. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel is I kind of wanted to give back, because I feel like, yes, I mean, you go and you watch ads and stuff, and that supports creators, and of course, but I feel like I was just taking from the community and not giving anything back, and I wanted to give something back, as small and silly as my channel is, I just thought it was important to do. So I also really, really, really wished I came up with the idea of PowerWash Simulator podcast, where you do an interview with the two of you play PowerWash Simulator like Markiplier does, because holy crap, that's a great idea. Marvelous, just marvelous. Absolutely great. I mean, maybe I'll steal it. I mean, not steal it, but I mean, steal the concept of just playing this and talking to people. Because there's a lot of clone stuff that happens, right? Snorgle says, trying to justify it. Yeah, and I saw recently that I guess YouTube is going to have AI generated shorts. So you give it a prompt, and it will generate a short for you. I don't like that. And it's funny. I mean, I've talked about people before. I know. I've heard somebody say the other day that all AI is garbage, and that's objectively false. Now I'm not a fan of generative AI. I did hear Markiplier on one of his podcasts say there was if you caught YouTube drama. There was a little bit of drama coming around about Mark. Somebody accused him of using AI, and of course it was false. And they just made a bunch of baseless accusations, like oh, he uses AI in his thumbnails, and he uses AI in his YouTube channel, and he uses AI for whatever, and he probably used AI to write his movie. And it's all just baseless crap, The fact that he has generally been able to stay out of controversy as long as he has is amazing. But I mean, I feel it's the same with like Jacksepticeye too. I mean, I think there's something to be said for some people who are grounded because they didn't grow up only making money on YouTube, right? Like Jacksepticeye talks about, he talked about working construction, and Markiplier's talked about working in a supermarket and later like a restaurant, and even when he was in college doing a internship at some kind of consulting firm for a pharma thing. I think it was pharma. I think he had his degree was some kind of pharma thing, some pharma associated, something like that. I feel like probably something about business too, because he seems to be a really good businessman. So does Jacksepticeye, but like that makes sense too, because Jacksepticeye I think got a degree in hospitality, so you certainly learn about business. Oh, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. Anyway, I just think that there's some things that happen that's interesting. I saw a really interesting thing on the preponderance and growth of scripted content in Minecraft. And I'm not gonna name names, but everybody, if you watch any of this stuff, you know exactly what it is, and how it happened and why it happened. And it was, I wish I could remember the video. It was a really, really deep and thorough sort of looking into that, right? And discussing here's how it happened and here's how it evolved. And I don't have a problem with that. If you want to do scripted content, that's great. The thing I don't like is that it's presented as, okay, it's not blatantly presented as real, but they're a little squirrely. I'll just say that. Like if you watch it, there's in the description, it will say this is scripted content and blah, 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 which is good for them, you know. Some Minecraft scripted content does not do that. Just saying. But also, who reads the description? Like, it's much more straightforward if you have just a really simple disclaimer at the beginning of every single one of your videos saying this is scripted content, blah, blah, blah. That's a much more transparent way to do it. Just saying, you know? And I think that as with a lot of Minecraft content, oh, each different color. Okay, that's cool. I like that. That's cool. I like that a lot. Well, let's get the blue done first then. Oh, that's great. That's cool. I like that tremendously. I think that if they did that, my guess would be that they'd lose some viewers. And I don't think they're being a little squirrely on purpose, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, again, at least they say that it is, and a lot of other content don't, but I've just recently started getting to Hermitcraft at the suggestion of one of my subscribers, and it's really nice. I like it because it's specifically not scripted at all, and you can tell, you know. But they do a good job of weaving stories together, which I think is really cool. I think that's really neat. I like that a lot. Yeah, we got all that. Okay. This red thing goes all the way around, I think, maybe? Yeah, maybe it does. Like, I like the idea of telling stories with Minecraft. I think that's really clever, and I think that's really cool. I don't like the idea of pretending like it's real, you know? I kudos for the creators that actually say in their descriptions this is a story we use this medium to tell a story, but maybe put that as a disclaimer initially, right? And the other thing too, I feel like that a lot of the creators could really use help with is like, okay, so there's a lot of storylines that end up using the same devices, and I get it, but like you guys are making a lot of money. I'm guessing you're making a good cash on this scripted content because you're getting a lot of views and a bunch of videos produced every week, and hire a writer. Writers are not expensive. Seriously, hire a writer to help you, because like there's always this like somebody gets captured and they say, oh, you know, this happened all the time, and almost every single video somebody gets captured and somebody says, put all your stuff in this box, you know. Well, and they do, but why would you do that? Like, nobody can tell how much stuff you have. You know, why would you not keep? There's no reason not to not keep, like, a pickaxe or something, you know? like, and if this is happening all the time, then just keep an emergency pickaxe in your stuff and say, oh, that's everything. Scout Sonar, you know? Things like that. It's just like, a writer could help you tremendously with this. There's other ways to make all that happen, you know? But I do like the idea of using Minecraft to tell a story. I think that's really cool. But I almost wish it wasn't based on like the actual people becoming the actual, you know, creators becoming characters. I almost sort of wish you were just telling a story. Which surely somebody's done that, right? Surely. I mean, the community is so huge. I can't imagine that hasn't been done on an epic scale before, right? But I am very much liking Hermitcraft because it's so authentic, and I missed out on it before, and I'm really glad that oh, by the way, coming up, I understood that coming up there is a live Naked and Afraid. It's going to take place over several hours on December 2nd, 4th, and 6th. I think nobody on that needs my my endorsement at all. They're far more successful, but I'm just saying for your benefit, if you haven't seen it and you're interested in Minecraft content, I highly recommend checking it out. Like, check out the They list, I think, I watched a trailer and they list the is there red back here? Sneaky, there is. That is sneaky. Is it back there? Maybe not. Yeah, I think that's really cool though, you know? I think that's really neat, and I like that a lot. And like the Naked and Afraid, I don't think that anything happened with that. Like that is absolutely not scripted. There was a weird video out a while ago by someone who sort of ended up being not great on Naked and Afraid, and somebody did a video on what happened and why this was, and there was a little bit of video about, oh well, everybody Naked and Afraid hates each other, and they're all terrible people, and I just stop that, you know. Just stop it. Like, people do a lot of stuff to get clicks, you know, rage bait or whatever. Or just kind of maybe just telling people what they want to hear, even if you know it's not true. I've been impressed with SB737. Again, like I said, I absolutely am not. He doesn't need a shout out from me. He's wildly successful. I'm sure he's worth millions and millions of dollars. But first of all, I appreciate his dedication to the merch. Like, he really does a good job of getting merch, releasing merch, and I would imagine he spends a not insignificant amount of time at it. You know. I appreciate that. I appreciate that kind of hustle. I think that's really cool. But somebody was asking about it. Why doesn't he join? You know, he was in life. So why doesn't he join some of the scripted content? And he just basically was like, I don't like it. And I agree with that. I think that there's a decent amount of people who look at that and say, I just don't like scripted content. I don't think it's engaging. And you know, I mean, my bias is, yes, I agree with you. So, you know, you're right, because I agree with you. But I also think that I find it interesting that there's other people who have this same view that it's like, yeah, that's obviously scripted, and I don't care for it. You know, I think that's interesting. I wonder how many people don't know that it's scripted. The one I'm talking, by the way, is Unstable SMP. And again, I think the stories are interesting. I really do. Like I don't think they're told in the best way possible. And initially when I saw it, I believed it because I didn't check the description. Because why would you? Like, nobody does. And then something happened. I don't know what it was, but there was something going on, and it was like, it was obvious that it was scripted. And I mean, because let's be honest here, none of those people are actors. Right? And acting is very hard. It's very difficult to do. And there were some really badly written lines, and the characters were not written very believable, and what was happening wasn't very believable. It's like, oh, okay. And then I checked, and it said it was scripted. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird. But seeing the history of how that happened was interesting as well. I mean, I think it's interesting that they found it so successful they decided to just make an entire series out of it. It's been probably, I mean, there we go, cool. It's been a not insignificant amount of time doing it too, right? Like, I'm not sure I get underneath this here. All the yellow underneath it. Okay. Like, some of the shots they get are very impressive, and I can't imagine. You know, when I think of, like, I was watching this one YouTuber who was doing a whole series of 100 days and whatever, and like 100 days in Stardew, and it was obviously 100 days, and I can't imagine how much time she spent. I mean, I guess I could figure it out since a day is 20 minutes, but like, and get it narrowed, get it like neatly condensed and edited down to a 20-minute video. Like, that's 30 hours of play for a 20-minute video. That's impressive. That's so much work. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much hard work goes into stuff like that. I don't really do that because I don't think I could do that level of stuff and maintain my upload schedule. And so I like to be a little more casual about it. Not like it's a stream, because it's not, but I do some streams, certainly, on Sundays. 1:30 Eastern Time on Sundays, every Sunday. And occasionally other streams, but as a one-off. Almost exclusively on YouTube. I've thought about doing it on some other platforms, but I don't have any follows on those platforms, and it just seems like it's a hassle, so. And I think that there's some platforms that have really cracked down. I'm not going to say who, but some. Oh, did you hear that the mayor's cat Ulysses is missing? The whole town's on the lookout for him in the next festival. We don't have a spring until he puts the head on. So I'm guessing the orange cat that we've been seeing around here is Ulysses, which is not a bad name for a cat, but kind of hard to shorten down. To be honest, if I had to wear that, I'd go missing too. Cats love to wear clothes. No, they don't. They don't at all. My previous cat, not my current one, rest in peace, buddy, I would occasionally put little costumes on it, and his look was always like, I'm going to murder you in your sleep. He never did, fortunately, but that was the look he always gave me. He was very patient. I tried to get him to see if he'd be a shoulder cat, the kind of cat that stands on your shoulders, and he was having none of it. He very, very, very gently, lightly bit me on the ear. Didn't want blood or anything, but just letting me know, look, buddy, I am not your clown. I was like, okay, message received. Okay. It cracks me up how fast you pop up. Boink! Okay. I'm really looking forward to cleaning like the toys and stuff. I think that's gonna be really cool. Nice. Okay, we have the blue stuff in the middle. Yeah, let's see. Can we like clean this? Your dog bark? That was so realistic. I thought maybe it was like in real life. Turns out it wasn't. It was in game. There's not an enormous amount of dogs in my neighborhood. Some, not a lot. I mentioned this before, though. There is the guy next door to me has two. The guy next door to me has maybe 3 Irish wolfhounds. And every once in a while, one gets out and like rings the doorbell, wants a snack. I keep those like those. I keep them for my cat too, but there's those like dried fish things. If you haven't seen those before, I highly recommend them. They're like dogs and cats both go crazy for them. They just go nuts for them. Highly recommended. I always think it's funny though, like ring the doorbell and you look at the video and it's like, oh look, the doggy's here. Yeah, that looked like there's actual mold growing on there. Maybe moss. Not sure. Not sure how common that is on. I'm trying to get a nice blend of how wide I can make the beam and still clean effectively and quickly. Oh, that was nice. Okay, great. Cool. This is a pretty good sized job. Not gonna lie. It's okay, we got this. We got this. We got this. I wonder if this saves in the middle of a job. I'm actually not sure. I assume it does, but I don't know. Okay, and so I have like $1,200. Is the 1 star like? What does that mean on the upper right hand side? I kind of like to get the outside first, so I can see where it's. That's a little bit better. Yeah, we can come back and get some of the harder stuff later, but I think if we can just get some of the primary stuff off with a wider beam, I think that's good. It didn't seem to matter on that last one that I got all that green stuff off, which is interesting. It's always interesting to me how they choose when they do this game, how they choose like sometimes they're very generous with, like some of that stuff back there I was doing. It's like I was not fully done at all. And it's just like, okay, yeah, like that. I had stuff to do, and they're like, "You got this, no problem." You know, I think that's really interesting. No, that's funny. I never noticed the incidental sounds before in here. Maybe they weren't around before. I don't know. I thought it'd be good for me to play PowerWash Simulator 1. Before I got into 2, because 2 just came out recently, less than a month ago. We're going to get the main part off, and then we can concentrate on some other stuff. And try that technique, maybe. Maybe try that. How did I miss that? Yeesh. Getting sloppy. It does make me want to go Harbor Freight and buy a power wash. A power washer, you know? I have a friend who, I don't know why I'm thought of this, but I have a friend who used to work for a very large, the corporate office for a very large food chain. And she would always get all kinds of corporate swag. And they had a guy there who would design it and test it, right? And then the stuff they decided didn't focus group well, whatever like that, she would just they would give them away to the employees, and so she just had all this really funny, crazy stuff that didn't quite work, you know. It's really hysterical. I guess we could try the red. We could try this. Why not? I'm curious. Yeah, I can't really do. Okay, can't really do that, can we? We can certainly do that, though. That works. There we go. I do like the occasional. I wonder if the cat's going to show up in this level. I hope so. I was kind of low-key. I was actually hoping that the cat was going to show up in the motorcycle garage level. Just like hanging out. Maybe they were there. Maybe it was there and I missed it. I'll have to look for it when I edit this video. Yeah, this is a hard one. Man, there's a lot to do here. A lot to do. We got this, though. We got this. You and me. We can do this together, huh? You hang out and keep me company. Talk about life and YouTube and all kinds of stuff. I had lunch today, and I had some roast turkey, like some deli meat, you know. And I really wanted a turkey and Swiss sandwich. But I realized that I was completely out of bread. I had absolutely no bread whatsoever. And I was way too lazy to go to the store. I didn't want to get it delivered or anything like that. So but I did have tortillas though. So I just made a sandwich version of a quesadilla. It was so good. It was so good. I put thin slices of like deli Swiss on the outside. I put a little mustard on one side, a little mayonnaise on the other. Thin slices of Swiss, like the deli slices you get in the store, you know, and a little bit of Swiss luncheon meat, a little bit of turkey luncheon meat, roast turkey. It was so good. It was really good. That needs to be more of a thing, like a sandwich quesadilla. Legit, try it. It was so good. I also played. That wasn't really a collab. It just kind of started off playing a video with a friend of mine who has the channel 3-Bit Gamer Show. That's a podcast. They also have a YouTube channel. You can watch them once a week. They record their podcast. Watch it. Highly entertaining. But I played some Repo. And it was the first time I played multiplayer co-op Repo, and it was so much fun. I died a lot, but you know. So look forward to some more videos of that. They might be live streams, they might be videos. I'm kind of thinking of making those more edited, not as a live stream, but we'll see. The thing I like about the live streams in particular is that I like interacting with the chat. You know, I like talking to chat and interacting with them, and I don't feel like I can do that when I'm doing co-op because I'm sort of talking to the other players. You know. And it's interesting. I think that's pretty common. I was watching some Repo with Gab Smolders and the Hot Cross, Gary. And they say, I don't think that Gab, I could be wrong with this, but I think when Gab records with Easy Small, I don't think that she says co-op stuff. I don't think that she streams it. I don't think so. I could be wrong with that, but I don't think so. I've never caught a stream where she did that. I think that Gary, the Hot Cross, does. Oh gosh. Wait, is there some over here? There isn't there. That's sneaky. That's just downright sneaky. Look at that. That's just sneaky. Was that different to the other one? Surely not. That counted for the whole thing. Okay, good. Man, we still have a lot to go, but the floor is the hardest part, I think, in this one. Just keep going. Just knock it out. Yeah, but I think that'd be kind of fun to do some co-op stuff. And Repo was fun. I see why everybody likes it. It's so much fun. I like that it's not... I mean, it's similar to Lethal Company, but it's not just a blatantly Lethal Company ripoff like a lot of games that came out after the success of Lethal Company. I like that a lot. I think that's smart. I mean, it's very similar, but so many games came out that were literally just rip-offs of Lethal Company. I really like that. I really like that this was completely different. There's also a tremendous amount of lore, apparently. I was watching developers play with a couple of streamers and talking about that there's a huge amount of lore that people have not found yet at all, which I think is really interesting. I always feel like it's that way about Minecraft. Like the developers, some of the stuff, they clearly have an idea of what they think it is. Maybe it's not fully developed. Maybe they just thought about it. But I feel like, yeah, there we go. Yep. See, this is sneaky. You're getting sneaky snick. Okay. There's some over here too. That's what I thought. Yep. There we go. How does the playground get this filthy? There. Okay. Do we have any other small ones we can just kind of knock out of the park? This blue one here is pretty good. Let's do that. Like, I get that playgrounds get, dirty. How does it get this dirty? Like, why don't you get this cleaned up ahead of time? Like, if you brought your kid to this playground, I wouldn't let him play on it. Like, why is everything in this town so filthy? Is there lore for that? I feel like there has to be, right? Even if it's just sort of paying lip service because they need to justify something, I feel like there has to be. I was trying to balance, like, is it better to have the stronger thing and a thinner thing, or I never quite sure. Now we're going to leave that green stuff and see if they want us to come back and get that, because they were extraordinarily. Yeah, they do. Okay. So it definitely has moss growing here underneath all the. Is that a thing on playgrounds? Maybe where it's like super, super humid? I don't know. I don't live where it's exceptionally humid. It's humid, but not crazy, Okay. Yeah, I do like Tab. I think the Tab is my friend here. Okay. Yeah, see these little types of things. Sneaky. I was playing this week. I played as of this recording, if you're listening to the relatively time similar to one I did, I recorded a game called Moral Dilemma: The Interview. It's a really interesting game. It definitely a Stanley Parable clone. I don't think it's as good as Stanley Parable. Frankly, I don't know how it could be, right? But I like it a lot, and it was innovative in its own right. It was really good. They I don't know who the voice actor was. I suspect that it was maybe the developer. Maybe, I don't know that though. I don't know that at all. So that's just 100% speculation on my part. So I should say that. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Not that anybody cares what I think, but Okay. That's looking pretty good. Keep going. So that's up to 1302 now. Is that how much money I've earned on this gig? Like, I've gotten 1 star worth of work done with the quality. So the more I do, the more it goes up. Closer I get to 100. So I guess I don't have to 100% it. I can leave at some point. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to try it, but I also don't want to lose the work I've done. I feel like I've done a non-insignificant amount of work here. And I would like to get credit for it. This is definitely, I wouldn't say this is harder than the house, but it's got more volume than the house, to be sure. Get this moss up. Is this, I guess you would pressure wash moss away, right? Would that work? I assume. I don't know. Maybe it's lichen, not moss. I'm not sure what the difference is, but... Yeah, just a couple things here and there. A couple outliers. Those little things I think don't matter to a degree. It's funny though, they're so picky about stuff. 34% cleaned. Holy crap. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get going. You know, one of the reasons why I think this is so satisfying is the white, kind of the white noise of the water. I hadn't thought about that before. I definitely maybe should think about buying a container and some soap. You know, I feel like the green one for me is one of the better ones because it's pretty strong. It gets most stuff, but it also is wide enough that it's not such a directional beam. It's the one I kind of lean into the most. I want to see the kitty around. I hope so. I assume since they said the cat got out, that's what they meant when they texted us about that. I'm assuming that was belated. We've only seen the one cat. At least it looks like the same cat. A kind of chonky ginger boy. Or girl, I guess. I actually don't know what the cat's name is even. Did they mention it in that text? I don't think they did. I mean, it's probably, you know, Colonel McWhister's, you know, fluffy socks or something. Okay. Got a couple more things here. Oh, we got stuff over here. Yep. Mm-hmm. 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 Some of the really baked on stuff, you kind of need this. Yeah, there we go. Kind of switching back and forth. Oh, we got a fair amount of stuff to do on this, which is fine. That's fine. We got this. We got this. So in Minecraft, I saw a mine shaft, and I haven't really explored mine shafts before. I came across one in my old world, and it really didn't have anything. It had some stuff. It had some gribblers, but it didn't have any spawners or anything. It was tiny. It was a little tiny thing. This one seems to be significantly larger, and I ran across 2 spider spawners like within 4 blocks of each other. So I'm trying to figure out how to do like a good spider. Like a spider XP farm. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we got to get in here. Oh, that's sunlight hitting that. Okay. I was missing that. There we go. I think it's so interesting how sneaky they are about hiding this stuff so that it goes beyond. It's so funny. Some of the stuff, some of like the lights and shadows look distinctly different. They make it look like it's almost some 3D object or something. Not, but it sort of looks like that. There we go. This stuff is really caked on, man. Just get all this off here. Okay. I'm assuming this saves. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's going to be a while. I'll tell you. We're 37% clean. I guess we were 32 at one point, I think. Okay. We get everything in here? A couple things here and there, but in general, we got it all. Okay. Yep, here we go. I was catching up on the big controversy up in that TwitchCon where a really popular creator was assaulted on stage, like, and Twitch essentially banned them from bringing their own private security, and then Twitch's security didn't do anything, and then apparently for this maniac assaulting someone, they were like, oh, we banned him for a week. Like, what? Or a month or something. Like, what are you talking about? Call the police, you weirdos. What's wrong with you? You know? So 38% complete. That was 1%? Come on. Okay, we're almost done with the flooring. We got the blue stuff to do, but that's pretty good. I guess why not? This is a big job, though. Man, this is the biggest job we've done so far. Easily. I'm going to get all the floor done initially. That's the main thing I want to get done. There we go. There. See, it's funny. This seems a little bit easier, but there's just, like, this is just volume, right? There's so much stuff to do. It's not as intricate as the house. The house had a lot of tricky things in it, you know? Yeah, I wonder how this is co-op. I bet it's fun. Howdy, Dirt Finder. Put everything on hold. My golf bug is soiled like you wouldn't believe. Oh, some air. Okay. Sure. I'd be happy to help you. I mean, I'm not going to put everything on hold. Doc gave you details to a colleague who needs a hand on a new place in the suburbs. It's the old Dath place. Hope you don't get spooked easily. Is it haunted? Is that the implication here? Not sure I believe in ghosts. I'm pretty sure I don't, actually. I want to be a little more conclusive. Okay, there we go. There we go. %40 completed, man. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Uh-oh, just a little bit here and there. Yep. Not too bad. Pretty good. Okay. This one is definitely a big one, but that's okay. We got this. We got this. No problem. Anyway, you should absolutely try a sandwich quesadilla, because it was great form factor, not too far from a sandwich. It was really good. Sounds a little bit odd, but I'm a little surprised nobody has done that before. I'm sure they have, but I was just unaware of it. A couple things here and there, of course. Yeah, heck yeah. Okay. This the last of it? Surely not. Surely there's more to this green blue stuff than this. I assume there is anyway. With $1,300 job, I think that we can definitely afford some upgrades on our equipment. You know? There's got to be more blue than this. This blue has to go places, right? Okay, a little bit here, right there, a little bit there. Just a few small things here and there. Kind of tabbing as I go around. Okay. What am I missing? Ah. Okay. Question answered. That's what I thought. I thought the blue one was kind of big. The big one. Oh, so it's not that bad though. We're mostly done. Got a little bit more to go. Yeah, doing the floor first is deeply satisfying. So it looks like maybe a suburb of a larger city. I've noticed that before. Okay. I wonder what this is made out of. It's supposed to, or what it's supposed to be made out, right? I don't really visit playgrounds at all. Haven't since I was a kid, obviously, but is this like, I assume maybe some sort of rubbery, plasticky, squishy material so kids don't get hurt? I would hope so anyway. Maybe a little bit non-slip as well, in case it gets a little wet. Whatever it is, it can stand up to pressure washer. Which is fine. Good even. Very good. I did actually, I have to admit something. I did actually go and price how much a pressure washer is from Harbor Freight. Just a cheapo one, you know. I didn't buy it, but it's like, I don't need this. I really don't need this. But after playing the first game, I was like, hey, there we go. Wait, is that all of the floors? Holy crap, it is. No, it's not. We have this over here. The last one to do this. So let's finish this up. Like let's make sure we finish up all the floors. This video's going a little bit long, but you know why? Power washer. That's why. There we go. There we go. It's always interesting to me, you think that there are legitimate engineers whose job is to design these. Not power washes, you know, playgrounds. I would imagine an enormous amount of science and thought goes into it. Science, psychology, and thought. It seems like it would be really easy to screw it up. They must focus group these, right? They must. Oh, look at you! Look so tired. Take a nap, buddy. Take a nap. Yeah, a little more under there. Okay, come over here. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's some hiding. You learned how sneaky the developers get in doing this, you know? This is satisfying, though. I was kind of bummed out to hear that the developers of another incredibly popular and good game, a little to the left, they said they're not going to work on that kind of content anymore. They're going to do something completely different, which I understand. Like, they don't want to get blocked, but at the same time, it bums me out because there have been a couple of games similar to that, but none of them have scratched the itch that a little to the left is. And it just kind of bums me out a little bit that there's not going to be any more content for that. And I get it, like, they're a tiny little 3-person team out of Nova Scotia, you know, Canada, but it just bums me out. Can I not get under it? Oh, come on, I can. That's silly. Of course that's. Ah, boy. Missed a lot of stuff. Not going as efficiently as I would like. There. Did we get every single bit of flooring? I think we did. Cool. I do think that's a pretty good place to end this video. Thank you so much for tagging along with me with PowerWasher. I'm gonna finish up this level in the next video. I'm hoping it saves. If it's not, you're gonna have a very, very, very sad Snorgle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for more PowerWash Simulator. See you next time.